This podcast is sponsored by FortuneFavours.ie. FortuneFavours.ie is a home workout equipment store and your one-stop shop for all home gym equipment. They are well known for their adjustable dumbbells, which combine 15 different weights in one dumbbell. They have both 24 kg and 40 kg adjustable dumbbells. Check the link in the bio of this episode for more information. So I'm here with former Monaghan footballer Stephen Gollogly just to talk about his company GAA Tactics Board, about his career in general, about family life and about his early life as well. And he's a teacher now at Loud in RD, so it should be a very interesting chat here. I suppose, first of all, Stephen, I suppose the cases are going up in Ireland at the moment, but we're not really in lockdown. I don't know, will we be in lockdown come next month? But how are you keeping anyway?
I'm going good. Thanks for having me on, Matthew. I'm a school teacher by trade, so I'm just sort of looking at the news there to see will we be back next Thursday or not. So it's just a wait and see sort of a scenario. So numbers are going through the roof. So I try to keep myself removed from it as much as I can, because COVID talk, you can just overdo it. So we'll just wait and see. But hopefully next year, 2022, 23, hopefully we can eradicate it or get back to normal lives, please God.
Hopefully so. And I suppose you're a teacher yourself, like teachers have got a bit of a flack through Ireland over the last few years with this COVID crisis, really. How have you found being a teacher over the last year or so? Like, it's been tough, I could imagine.
Has been tough. Online lessons is very hard. Like, it's just logistics of everything. Some people haven't great Wi-Fi. I don't have great Wi-Fi myself. Would have got that sorted out for the first lockdown. Then your lessons, you'll be doing your bit. You might not all students can log on for one reason or another. Parents could be working, there could be mine and brothers and sisters. Then the next day you go back and recap for lads who weren't in. But it has been difficult, but you're a link there to the students. There's a lot of kids and have difficulties at home, and you're a point of contact if there's any issues, really. And touch wood, I enjoy my job. I work in RD Community School. I'm there 14 years now, and I'm really, really happy there, and I enjoy working with young people.
Yeah, and hopefully the situation definitely improves over the next year or so, and we'll get on to family life and work over the chat later on the chat. And I suppose we'll start off with maybe the start of your career. You play with Carrickmacross Emmetts in County Monaghan, is that right?
Correct, yeah. We're a South Monaghan club. It's been over 100 years now since we last won a senior championship. I'm planning to play next year anyway, so I think I'm going into my 21st or 22nd year playing with the seniors. So I enjoy it. We have a bit of fun. We have a good team there at the moment. Usually, say for 20 odd years, we'll be known as a yo-yo club, up and down, but we're up senior this last 5 years. We would have contested 2 senior league finals. Unfortunately, we didn't win them. Should have won one. Won a senior league in 2008. Got to a championship semi-final in 2020. So we're not far away. A few more young players coming up. We have a good minor team, and if we got a few more players off that, you never know what would happen. But Carrick Emmetts is my club, and very, very proud to be associated with them.
I suppose it has been tough to win a senior title. Like, Scottstown over the last few years have been incredible in the Monaghan Championship, really. Like, it's been hard really to replicate them kind of clubs, hasn't it?
Scottstown is a savage club. Machine, like, they would have been so strong in the 80s as well. I think it was 82, I can remember, because my brother was born Ronan in 82, but Scottstown got to an All-Ireland club final. I think it was some of the Cork clubs that played maybe in a semi or a final, but it was snowing, because I can remember my mother saying that she was pregnant with Ronan and they were slipping and falling in Croke Park. But they've been a powerhouse, great tradition. They would have had Jerry McCarville, Gene Sherry, Fergus Caulfield. They're all men from the Monaghan teams that won Ulster championships in the 80s. And now I think the current team, Rory Begg and the Hughes brothers, they could have 7 championship medals this last 10 plus years. So phenomenal club side. They would have been unlucky, didn't win an Ulster club maybe a couple of years ago. I think Cross bet them in the final. They would have felt unlucky against the Glen there a few weeks ago as well. Kieran Hughes got sent off, and they would have felt it was a tight, great match. I watched it live, savage game, but they're savage outfit too. Club football is very strong in Monaghan. Clontibbert as well. Conor McManus, Vinnie Court, Desimo, they would have maybe 6 championships, 5, 6 anyway this last, say, 15 years, and quality teams. But club football is very competitive on a great football county, great GAA county, and you got to be on top of your game if you want to compete.
Yeah, 100%. And I suppose away from Carrickmacross, Emmetts, you actually went to college at UL. Coincidentally, I go to UL as well. So we both know how great college it is.
Yeah. No, I knew that. You told me that you were studying your journalism down there. Savage. I had a great 4 years in Limerick. I was there from 03 to 06, graduated 07. I done woodworking tech drawing, teaching down there. I have great friends from Limerick as well, and what a place to go to college. Yeah. Got involved in Gaelic down there as well. Would have played Sigerson 4 years. We're not allowed to play Sigerson now as a fresher. Rules have changed, but we wouldn't have been over successful on competitions wise. But we had great crack, great memories, and great GAA club down there. The girls sort of outshone us when I was down there. Very strong O'Connor Cup and Ashbourne Cup, the ladies Gaelic and the Camogues. But we got to a fresher A semi-final. Jordanstown beat us. But didn't progress. We never made it to a Sigerson weekend, unfortunately. We sort of hadn't. We had steady players. We had no real out and out inter-county players. Really star-studded names. Paul McMahon Leash. He was probably our highest profile. He would have played with Leash for 10 plus years. Won his Leinster Championship with Mackleroy 04. Aidan O'Shea Kerry would have played championship football with Kerry. Struggled with injury an awful lot. David Gainey, Kerry played a bit of league football, might have played a tiny bit of championship football, but they weren't star-studded county careers really. But great times, we great fun. Our games, a lot of our games will be down with you boys in Cork, into the UCC, CIT, or Waterford, Munster as well. But we'll be down, play the game, do our best. Get your meal voucher in the college, get the spuds in, and get the baggy cans onto the bus, and the crack will be 90 back to Limerick. Sing song the whole way back and hit the town in Limerick that night. Great fun, great times.
Absolutely savage crack, it sounds like. And yeah, you mentioned the memories, Sigerson Cup and all that. And even looking at UL's squad now for Sigerson Cup, you have the likes of David Clifford, Owen McLaughlin in there, Sean Powter. Like, that's a savage team. Like, are you kind of jealous that the brilliant players are going to UL now rather than your time there?
Yeah, but sure, it's like anything, you can't dwell on it. UL's last Sigerson was in the 90s, I'm guessing 96, 97. Derek and Ada, them lads were on it. Aidan McGarrett, if I'm right. We just hadn't got it, and for whatever reason, lads weren't going to UL, whatever way it was. But it's like anything, you'll have a crop of players will come at any given stage, whether it's club or county, and you got to make the most of it. But UL, we still give it all. It was a great GAA club. We train in the morning before classes. Then we was in second year. I think it's actually a good idea. I'm not sure if all colleges do it. But when you're a fresher, the second years coach the team. So when I was in second year, then a few of us, I don't know what way it's picked. If you're willing to help out with the first years, and so the second years coach the first years, and you get a great bond. Then all them first years, you'll end up playing together with them. Then Sigerson the following year or whatever, and just a great way to get to know lads, and you're sort of dabbling your hand into a bit of management and coaching as well. So it gets the ball rolling. But it was an interesting and it was a nice thing to do down in UL.
Yeah, absolutely. UL's a great college, all right, and we could see them win the Sigerson Cup this season. And I suppose with your own county, Monaghan, you started playing for the Monaghan seniors anyway in 2004. Did you play any minor under 21 before that, or did you come into the team straight away, literally?
Yeah, no, I played minor. Would have been development squads and 2-year minor. We got to a minor final in 01. When I finished up with the county, one of our statsman, Mark McHugh from Oram and County Monaghan, he gave me every single game I played with when I was playing with Monaghan from minor, 21, senior. Fascinating, have it on a hard drive. Brilliant thing to have to show me kids down the line. And I was looking back at our minor match from 01 Ulster final. Tyrone bet us, I think by maybe 4 or 5 points. They got a penalty late on. It was a tight game, but they would have had Sean Kavanagh, Martin Penrose, a couple of lads that went on to win numerous All-Ireland medals. So that's where I sort of started. Then when I was in UL, I was the captain of the Monaghan under 21. So that was a nice honour to get. Eamon O'Hara was managing us back then. It was 04, 05. And then progressed. I was in UL. I would have played a bit of league football in 04. Colin Kyle was our manager. In UL, I was waiting. There was a training camp in La Manga or Spain, wherever it was, but I was dropped on the Wednesday. I got the call. They're not good enough. So didn't make the championship panel that year. But in hindsight, it was probably the best thing that happened to me. Some of my other friends would have made it that year. Sort of dwindled away then in the next few years. But after being dropped, it sort of got a hunger inside me that I wanted to make it. Would have trained hard in Limerick. Would have got into the gym down there. The arena, UL Sports Arena. Started tricking it a bit of weights, built myself up, got myself fit, and then made my championship debut the next year, 05. Seamus McInerney was manager of Banty. He's back in again, and he gave me my start. I was very grateful to him. And first GAA, Sean Marty Lockhart straight in. I think Sean Marty's a few All-Stars, so there was no niceties. You were straight in and off you go, either sink or swim. But that was the career, So that was it, really.
I suppose you mentioned Banty McInerney. He's obviously back with the Monaghan team a few years now, and he was there, I think, from 05 maybe he was definitely there in 2010 as well, and been to a few Ulster finals. Like, what sort of influences he had in your career?
Well, Seamus gave me my start. So you always sort of remember that the manager who put faith in you. We had a great team. Like, we sort of had a different team back then. We got to an Ulster final in 07. Tyrone beat us by a pint or two. Got there in 2010 as well. Tyrone bet as well. And then Seamus wasn't managing that. He done 05 to 10. Then Eamon McInerney was in 11. But Seamus, he was a savage passion for GAA. Like, he's a real GAA man. Training the county last year, his club were struggling relegation there this last few months. He took his club team over and turned them around in 6 weeks to stay up at a canter. Got the thing right. But he's a die-hard GAA man. He gets the best men in around him. He'll create a savage team. Donny Buckley's with them at the minute. The Johnny Davies, the S&C coach, he's a lad from Ulster Rugby. Seamus gets the best in the business, and he's a very successful businessman. So they were unlucky last year. Didn't meet Tyrone final. Played nothing in the first half. Very tentative game. Tyrone went on. They won the All-Ireland, but Monaghan will be back. Seamus is over them again next year. Monaghan will be back, and they'll be ready to go for next year again, like always.
And what I was seeing recently, Liam Sheedy, the Tipperary All-Ireland winning manager, of course, he's come into the backroom team for Monaghan as well. So that definitely bodes well for the future for Monaghan GAA.
Yeah, well, I think Seamus and him are friendly over the years. But as I'm after saying, no stone will be left unturned to try to get the best players into the playing with the county and the best management set up. Vinnie Corey, a recent player, is in as selector, serious operator. There's a bit of coaching with them and a selector. So Dave McCaig on the ticket as well. That'll be a nephew of Sean McCaig, ex-president of GAA. So top men in on the setup at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose you mentioned you reached the Ulster final in 07 and 2010, and I was seeing an Irish News Post or something article. You were talking to them about the Monaghan team that time, and you were saying if Conor McManus was a bit older, you could have challenged for the All-Ireland. Do you stand by that?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Like we got to an All-Ireland quarter final. Betting Ulster final 07, ended up backdoor, made it to Croke Park against Kerry. Kerry bet us by a point. We would have been dominating a lot of the game. Just pipped us by a point. Had them the next year, 08 as well. That was in the last 12, just the game before the quarter final. Another titanic battle, 2 savage games in Croke Park, and nothing between the sides. Kerry won their All-Ireland in 07, then Tyrone beat them in 08. But we were so close. Conor McManus would have been on the panel then. I think he might have come out. Did he play in 08 possibly as a wing back maybe? But he was nowhere near the peak of his powers. But I've no doubt if he was in his prime back then, we could have won Sam Maguire. No doubt about it. Like, we put it up to Kerry, even league games, to be so competitive. That was a savage team. Kerry, Carroll O'Shea, Tomas O'Shea. I'd usually always be marking Tomas O'Shea, whatever way would pair up. Great battles. The Gooch, Declan O'Sullivan, they were so hard to stop. Mike Frank was playing in 07 as well. But McManus, yeah, he's been the best corner forward this last 10 years. He's worked 5-6 points for you every game. So if you're getting 5-6 points off him back 07, 08, why couldn't you have won it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose you won the Ulster title eventually in 2013. I suppose, was it a game that you remembered? I don't know, like you had a big clash with Mark McHugh after 7 minutes in that final, and both of you were off the pitch by then. Like, I don't know, I kind of have to ask you this question. Was this a tactic or did it just come by chance?
No, I get asked that so many times. If I had €1 for every time that was asked, I'd have plenty in the piggy bank. No, because there was a lot of media attention after it also. Then there was talking about that Monaghan had a challenge match against Mayo the week before, took lumps out of each other, and we're going to do the same. No truth, rumour mill, but I do remember I didn't get concussed because I got concussion a couple of times. Just 50-50 challenge. It was head on and clash of heads. My eye closed up. That's why I had to go off. It closed up, and thought I was going to be able to come back on. Went off for some treatment, but it wasn't to be. McHugh went off as well, but yeah, no, that's the way it went. Then we won it in 15 again, and probably sweeter to know that the first year wasn't a fluke or whatever, and you were able to back it up and do it again in 15. And possibly we should have done 3 in a row. We got to the final in 14, the in-between one. Decisions didn't go for us. The referee was probably edgy, had to be cautious. There was a bit of negativity from the year before or whatever, and we were very unlucky not to do 3 in a row. That would have been a massive, massive achievement for Monaghan.
Yeah, definitely so. And I suppose leading up to the game in 2013 against Donegal, like Donegal were touted as this team to be one of the greatest of all time. Jim McGuinness, Jim the Redeemer, and all that. They were superb in 2012. Going into that game in 2013, those Monaghan players, like, how did you put it off? Like, you beat Donegal, didn't only beat them, you beat them by 6 points at the end. Like, that was an incredible performance overall.
Yeah, well, we had Malachy over us. Like, Malachy is an unbelievable manager. Everywhere he goes, he wins. He's a born winner. Tactically, he's so tuned in. He's a great way about him. We were so fit. We trained unbelievably hard. We scraped through the final, is what you want. We beat Antrim the first day. There would have been like our settled team. He'd rarely have a settled team, Malachy. He'd be building. He'd eye up something that we've a chance here for our peak. We'd Cavan in the semi-final, local derby, scraped through it. Conor McManus got a late point or two at the end. And into the final, coming in under the radar, and we were like 9-1 outsiders. We knew we had a chance. We played like we were hungry. We had great belief in ourselves. We knew we had the quality players. A lot of the lads had been there for 10 odd years. We knew we had the resilience. We knew we had good players. We knew we had the leadership. We had the right characters, and it just clicked on the day. And we ambushed them and took them out. And Monaghan football is probably still on a high since then. It gave it new energy back from in the 80s when Monaghan was going well back then. But great times.
Yeah, it is brilliant times for Monaghan football. And I suppose you were going so well in 13, going so well in 50, even 18 after you played as well. It's the team to stop you in Croke Park, Tyrone. Like, was that kind of annoying in a way that they were just there to stop you?
Yeah, we wouldn't have had a great record against Tyrone. It would always be said, oh, the hoodoo on you, whatever. And they'd say that Monaghan had the hoodoo and Donegal. But them Tyrone teams, 07, 010, like they were multiple All-Ireland winners. Owen Mulligan was on your podcast there a few months ago, and he was a quality team. We possibly weren't just good enough, missing a few players or whatever. Then the 13, you had the Sean Kavanagh incident, the pull down. Like that Tyrone team, they were savage players too. We probably didn't play well enough in Croke Park. I don't know if it was some of the lads, they didn't get maximum out of our performance, and for whatever way, I don't think it was complacency. Not sure really. Too much partying, I don't think so. A night or two in the beer after, we were back training after them Ulster finals. So I don't think that was it, but we just didn't perform. Tyrone would have got sort of early lead in, was that 15 then, and we just couldn't claw it back. But Tyrone were a quality team. Matty Donnelly, Peter Hart, they were at their prime then as well. Sean Kavanagh, Collie Kavanagh, the serious outfit too. And once you go to Croke Park, nothing is easy. But I suppose looking back now, it's very disappointing we didn't perform better in headquarters.
100%. And I suppose a question was actually put to you. I was putting up a Q&A thing on my story on Instagram, and some interesting question came alight there. The difference between Malachy O'Rourke and Jim McGuinness. Like, Jim McGuinness is obviously one of the greatest managers ever to grace the game, really. Malachy wasn't too far behind either when he two Ulster titles with Monaghan, obviously getting to an All-Ireland semi-final with them as well. Like, there isn't much between the two, I don't think.
No, well, Malachy, he's very successful. Like, he would have started off his managerial career. I know he teaches in St. Joseph's School in Enniskillen. He's a Derry Lynn man. Lives in Tyrone and Ballygawley. He was successful at school. He trained in Monaghan, Ty Holland Intermediate Championship. He was at the Derry with the Loop, won a championship with the Loop. Out of nowhere, they won an Ulster club with the Loop. That's in the 90s, early 90s. Managed Fermanagh out of nowhere to an Ulster final in 08. They should have won it. Then he won 2 with us. He was with the Glen this year in Derry. They won that, hands down, smashed everyone in front of them. So he just has a great record. Great way about him. Great man. Jim McGuinness as well. Fascinating what he done as well. Like, Donegal were in the doldrums and he built them up out of nowhere. He convinced them they were going to win Sam, and they done it. If you read any of the books, I've read bits and pieces. Jimmy's McGuinness's own book and Rory Kavanagh's, he instilled a belief, and it seems to be with any winning team, you gotta believe before you do it, and if you do that, you have a chance. So what they were unlucky. They probably should have won 2 of them, 12 and 14. Kerry were lucky to beat Donegal, in my opinion. 14, it was a bad kick out by Paul Durkin, and Donaghy got on, stuck it in the net. That changed the game. So I always slagged the Kerry boys about that they haven't really won an All-Ireland since 09. They won't like me for that, but they were lucky in 14, and that's a famine in Kerry to go. What are we now, 22 back to 09? That's a long time ago. But McGuinness would be, I'd say he'd be still so disappointed that they didn't do 2 of them in 14 also. But phenomenal man. Then went to Celtic, Beijing, soccer, then over in America, I forget the club, Orlando or somewhere. So he's back doing a bit with Derry City Soccer. So he's a fascinating coach also, and I've never met him, but just listening to his analysis and that on Sky Sports, he's top of his game. Yeah,
he is definitely. Both managers are. Even what Malachy's done with Lane and Derry as well, like, that's a superb achievement. And I'm hearing Jimmy's actually gone down to Waterford hurling as well, and yeah, definitely both unbelievable managers and will be remembered long into the future for GAA. And I suppose for Monaghan, like, does this kind of stash trouble you? You haven't ever won an All Ireland. You've been close on a couple of occasions, like you've won Ulster titles. You got to a semi-final in 2018. Another day you could have got to an All Ireland final as well to face the Dubs, but you haven't won an All Ireland title. Does that, as a Monaghan man, trouble you?
No, it doesn't trouble me, but there's progress. Like, you've managers come in, and I call it now this time of year sort of silly season. Club managers, who will we get the right man, get the top man. You need to have the right players, number one, and you need a bit of youth coming through. And if you have success at youth, it sort of brings confidence. Then if you have good minor 16s, it can give you the belief when you go on up to senior. And likewise in Monaghan, we won our senior in 2013, our first one in 25 years. The minors that day, that was our first minor championship win in 67 years. That's a famine. And subsequently, since then, 9 years, we've won 4 or 5 minor championships in Ulster. So we have better quality players coming through. We're successful at minor level. Hopefully, we get a good crop, possibly win an Ulster, go another wee touch in the All-Ireland series, maybe win an All-Ireland. And then you can start to believe. But it has been done before. Teams have come out of nowhere and won. So you just never know. If you get the right crop, experienced players, youth, you never know what can happen. But hopefully someday Monaghan can do it. Hopefully, yes.
Yeah, they definitely deserve it at Ireland. And even look at the minor teams over the last few years, like, you play brilliant football as well. And you always, everyone hopes Monaghan win All Ireland because, you know, you've given so much to the GAA over the last few years. And I suppose there was a stat actually saying Monaghan had around the same population as Carlow, and people are praising Carlow a few years ago for their run. Do people need to praise Monaghan more, in your opinion? Like, it's a small population for that county, and you're achieving so much with that population.
Yeah, no, well, as players, you don't really want to. It's sort of a bit patronizing. Like, you're either good enough to win or you're not. You don't want the claps in the back. You're either going to do it or you're not. But I know it's a proud county. It is a great county. There's 30 clubs in it. Whether it's a senior club, intermediate, junior, they'll have their manager in the start of the year. They'll have their S&C in. They trade hard. Got to be ready to compete. County board level, there's been some great chairmen there. Declan Flanagan's there at the moment. Michael Owen McMahon was there when I was a player. Paul Corn, great men. There's good structures. We have a great centre of excellence down there in Cloughan. It's the middle of the county. Monaghan's a small county geographically. Anyone can be there in 20-25 minutes. North of the county, Trua, you'd be bordering Tyrone, South Monaghan, Maracloon, you'd be hitting Cavan or Mead there. So 20-25 minutes, location perfect. Good setup in a gym. They're developing more of a gym. They're putting up another unit. Performance gym. There's a AstroTurf Park going in as well for more winter training. The fields could be heavy enough in winter time, but Monaghan GAA has a lot of boxes ticked, and club-wise facilities. Some of the best facilities in the country. Enniskeane there, capacity could be 10-15,000. Monaghan play a lot of the home league games there. Scottstown, great facilities. Clontarf, new pitch aft. There's an awful lot of prunty pitches in County Monaghan, which would be sand-based pitches. And facility-wise, I'd say we're up there with any county in Ireland. Yeah,
absolutely. You've seen brilliant facilities, brilliant players over the last few years, and yeah, hopefully Monaghan will All Ireland in the next few years. And a bit about yourself, a few questions about your career in general. First, like, how did you get the nickname Jinxie? I'm very intrigued by this.
Yeah, interesting one. Nothing to do with sport. Family name, 4th generation name, and it goes that my great grandfather was in the tavern in Carrick, and my grandfather was with him as a young boy, say an 8 or 10-year-old boy, and my great granddad asked for a bottle of stout, and the stout was ordered, and the barman came back, bottle of stout, and he had a cream bun, and he says, "There's a bun for the Jinx." So my granddad was the Jinx, my dad was the Jinx, I'm the Jinx, my brother's the Jinx, and possibly young kids could be called, I don't know, but family name passed down the generations, nothing to do with football.
She's very interesting. I would have thought, it'd be about your skillful play or whatever, but it's a family name. That's very, very interesting. And
yeah, no sidestep, no, nothing to do with that.
It could be like, you'd be that type of player as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, a lot of people think that it's even in Jinxie, left, right, whatever, nothing to do with it. No.
And I suppose the best player you played against, like there's been a few, I would say you've marked so many great players down through the years.
Yeah, best player I played against, Tomas O'Shea, star-studded player. I'm not sure many all-stars he had. We always had great battles. Philip Jordan would have marked him in a couple of Ulster finals. Carl Lacey, Donegal, James McCarthy, Dublin. Hard man to get round. Big, physical, imposing player. Some of the Cork players, when we were going well, say in the noughties, we would have met that big Cork team, the one All Ireland 2010. Noel O'Leary would have picked him up a few times. Quality player, give it all. He'd wear his heart on his sleeve. With a few good battles with Noel. Who was Rory O'Carroll, Dublin as well. Very, very tough player to get round. Big, strong man. Who then our own, a few great players from Monaghan then. McManus, Gary McQuaid was probably an unsung here. A lot of people don't know about him. Monaghan lads reckon he could have got an all-star in 07, 08. He was a centre half back. Very, very strong, physically so fit. He was always the fittest man in the squad. Phenomenal player to play alongside also.
Yeah, some brilliant players right there. And I suppose, what was the best club and county game you've ever played in your life? Like, there's been a few brilliant games, I'm sure.
County games, probably I had a good game against Derry in Ulster Championship semi-final in 07 up in Casement. I was only young, was it 2021? Got half, I was a wing forward, scored 4 from play. That was probably one of my best days. I had a few great games against Cavan as well, the local rivals. I used to always rev myself up for the Cavan ones. Club-wise, would have got man of the match in intermediate finals and stuff like that. We got one in 2011 against our local rivals here for Duff. That was probably a sweet one also. That's a range of games that would have done well.
And I suppose you've played in a few positions throughout your career. Which is your least favourite?
Played in them all. I actually won an All Ireland. People laugh at this. In 94 under 10s. That's when we sort of started off with Carrick Emmetts community games up in Mosney. I was midfield in that. Played everywhere, wing back, centre back. I would have played cornerback once maybe because the opposition were playing a third midfielder, so I came out with them. Don't think I ever played full back, but anyone the forwards, give me a jersey 10 to 15 anywhere at all.
Absolutely, that's where all the scoring is, I suppose.
Exactly.
And getting on to your business actually, because this is a very interesting business, especially a former player moving into this at the end of their career. GAA Tactics Board.com. Firstly, where does the idea come about? Because it's a very interesting idea, considering the Tactics Board is a fashionable item in especially GAA COVID world.
Yeah, well, the game has changed in the last 10, 15 years, and tactically you have to be nailing it. It's just the way that the game has evolved, and it will keep evolving. But how I got into it, I coach a team myself every year in the school. I had a tactics board. You can buy them online. It would have been some of the existing products were there. I wasn't very happy with it. Reason being, it wasn't drawing the scale. The D's, this official size of the D is radius 13 meters, so it just wasn't the real deal. The magnets, so our school team are red jersey, so the magnets are generic. They're black and blue. So I was doing my coaching with my team, and I just felt it wasn't the real deal. The players weren't tuning in. They were thinking, oh, this man, what is he on about, his magnets, whatever. So I made my own board. I'm a woodwork teacher by trade, so I had it made out. I had my lines done on, scaled up, had my magnets sorted. I had a hanging bracket on the back. You could hang outside to do your coaching. And some of the lads said to me, geez, that's a great job. He says, would you not think of making them? And that's how it took off. And yeah, I'm tracking at it now this 8 months, 2 years. And yeah, slowly but surely we're making progress with it. And I'm very happy with the product. I stand by. I didn't want to do something that was willy-nilly and didn't want to put my name to something that wasn't right. So I have my name to it, and I'm confident in our product, and hopefully it'll go well for us.
100%. And yeah, it's a brilliant product, all right? Like I'm sure you could see it going far into the GAA future, because a lot of coaches there seem to be using them, especially at water breaks nowadays.
Yeah, well, Limerick, Paul Kinnaird uses our board. You'd see it there on the sideline, All-Ireland finals and water breaks. This coincided with COVID coming in, that you could get an extra wee bit of tactical information in. But the main one with our board, I have one there. It's the coded magnets. So blue and white Monaghan, Waterford, red and white County Loud, Cork, yellow and white, we'll say Antrim, black and amber, Kilkenny, Wexford will be an unusual magnet, which is purple colour. Talking of the Dubs, we'll say Clare, Tipperary, Roscommon, Kerry, Green and Gold, Limerick, Mayo. We can do them all. Like, so that's our main selling point. We're the only county in Ireland that does it. Personalised magnets. If you're coaching a team with pink jersey, we can get them sourced. A lot of research has gone into it. Like 90% through my educational background, I know the research on it. 90% of people are visual learners, so they learn by seeing. So if you see the exact magnet and you're doing a kick-out scenario, whatever it is, there's more chance to retain the information. So that's a big selling point for us. We've another electronic one developed as well. It's more or less for one-on-one coaching. I don't know, can you see? But if you have one-on-one or for small groups, you can do your tactics on it, arrows, drop zones, whatever it is. That is very handy as well. And it's easy to carry around for showing visuals to play our show. We were the first company in Ireland to sell, though. We have them out 6 months. So so they're tried and trusted. There's other crowds at them now. They mightn't be tried and trusted. Dublin GAA uses ours. Limerick, Cork Hurlers, Mayo, Galway, Roscommon, Armagh, Monaghan, Tyrone. Who else? That's a range of the counties that have been using them, and they're very happy with them. So we're confident we have something there that's going to help coaches, and we're happy to stand by it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned Paul Kinnaird, like he's been really the story of the championship with that Limerick team, and Cork Hurlers, Dublin players as well use it. That is some going. And I suppose, like, someone was actually mentioning you managed the RD school team in Louth. Like, is that right, first of all? And second of all, would you use the tactics board for them matches as well?
100%. The tactics board is on our sideline for every game. Some training sessions, but yeah, I'm over the senior team in the school this year. We've a Leinster Championship coming up, quarter-final coming up now in January. Hopefully all will still go ahead, but my bracket there, yeah, you can hang it on field netting, or if there's a dugout, anything at all. It's heavy. There's an intercounty board. It's 10 kilos in weight. It won't blow away in wintry conditions. That's the main selling point. We have a few different products there. You can check the website, GAATacticsBoard.com. Any interested coaches, you can see what we do. But we'd have it out every session. I don't like overdoing players and tactics, especially minors, young players, because I was there before. You don't want to get bored. But it's so handy. A 10-second visual, lads. We're not getting enough defensive cover. Pull them back to the D. We can pull our magnets back in. They see defensive shape, whatever it is. Getting angles into the ball, into the full forward line. You show them a quick visual. Show them, lads. Get them back out in the field, and hopefully they'll take something on, and hopefully you improve them another couple of percent. But I enjoy training the lads. I've been with that team the whole way up, and you get so much back off young lads. Great fun, and they have a great interest in learning and they take on board. We do bits of nutrition, whatever else, and great to work with young people indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the visuals there, like I use it in my stats after games as well. Like they can be very handy. See what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right. The tactics board is absolutely a brilliant idea for that. And even my club uses it as well. It's like it's used up and down the country, so it's an absolutely brilliant product. And best of luck with it. It's an absolute brilliant product. And I suppose two more topics, like your family life as well. You have 3 kids at the moment. Unfortunately, you lost baby girl Chloe 18 months ago. Like that must have been tough.
Yeah, without a doubt. We've had a very tough 18, 19 months now. I've Ava is 7, Shay is 5, Grace is 3, and Chloe would be 18, 19 months. Yeah, very tough. We went for a 20-week scan with Chloe, and we knew there was complications. Her heart wasn't developing. So we didn't know if she was going to go full term. We didn't know if we get to meet her or not, but she lived for an hour after birth, and we were so grateful for that. But it has been such a tough experience, and our kids talk about Chloe every single day, so she won't be forgotten, and hopefully she's going to live on with us. But we have got great support. Over this last year and a half, Féileacáin, I don't know if you've heard of it or not, probably not, but Féileacáin is a support service for bereaved parents. Féileacáin, it means butterfly or scéalga. So we've had great support from them, and also a Little Lifetime Foundation support service for parents who've lost babies at birth. But it has been very, very difficult, but hopefully she'll always be with us.
Yeah, she always will be with you in spirit, and condolences to your family over that. And yeah, it must have been a very tough time for your family. And I suppose final topic as well. You went to Chicago Wolf Tones for a year or so. You played Gaelic football there in 2019. Like I have some guests on the podcast. They've been abroad and all that. James Dolan from Westmeath. There was a few others. Like I interviewed someone from abroad that's into GAA. Harvey Allen. I'm not sure. Do you know him? He's from London. Like it's great to grow the game around the world, isn't it?
Unbelievable. Like I had a savage. It's mad how your life can turn. That was 2019. What an experience! And then we had such a difficult year in 2020 during lockdown, losing Chloe. So it goes to show life is so fickle, and for everyone to enjoy it as best you can. But yeah, 2019. I never went on a GAA one or that in my prime with the county. Would have got a few offers or whatever, but Monaghan, we were going well and competing in Croke Park most years and didn't go. But the chance came up in 2019 when I was a retired county player. I have a cousin in Chicago, Owen Duffy. He was my link out there. Didn't big decision to go, not to go. Ended up booked it on the Monday night, and I was flying out 2 days later to Chicago. But great experience. Spent 6 weeks out there. Would have worked hard as well. I was on my site every day. At 10 to 5 every morning. Drove over to the boss's house for pickup. On the site, 7 a.m. would wrap up, say 3 p.m. Finish early, home. But great experience. But I couldn't get over the Irish lads out there. A lot of Irish lads do site work so hard, physical work. But I would have been working with lads from Galway and Roscommon, men who emigrated, say, in the 80s and have made a life for themselves out there. But it was phenomenal, the interest in GAA. They still have 10 o'clock tea. First thing would be out would be the RTE News app or the 42 to see what's going on in GAA back home. And their knowledge, they've never forgotten home. And it's fascinating to see that. Lads that have been out there 40, 50 years and they still know everything about the GAA and are very proud of the GAA. So yeah, GAA Go would lead to that as well. They get all the games, they save them on the hard drive so they can watch them on repeat, whatever it is. But phenomenal experience. Chicago Wolf Town, most successful GAA club in North America. I think they have 14 North American championships. We won it as well, which was the icing on the cake for the experience. Didn't get injured in the summer, nothing like that. Came home unscathed, and we won it on the last day. And great experience, great crack. great fun. Would have been Colin Basquel, Dublin was with us as well. Live with Collie, Barry McHugh, Galway, another great lad, and great memories, and we're still good old buddies. But definitely recommend it to any young lad thinking of going away. Experience the world, broaden your horizons, and play GAA. Whether it's Australia, you're going GAA, numerous clubs there, the Emirates countries, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, England, wherever you go. A great way to make friends. If you don't know anyone, wherever you're going, once you join the GAA squad, you know 30 players straight away. So definitely recommend it. Great experience playing over in America indeed.
Definitely, and from what I've heard, like it's a great experience going abroad, learning new ways that they interact with GAA Go. I think is absolutely brilliant. It's been around a while now. Like it only came into prominence in Ireland, really, with people not being able to go to games, but abroad it's been absolutely superb. And even I know lads from even the Czech Republic that are willing to play GAA. It's absolutely incredible, and yeah, long may it continue because it's an absolute brilliant sport. Yeah, I suppose we'll have to leave it there, Stephen. Thank you very much for the interesting chat. I wish you the best of luck with GAA Tactics Board, and wish you the best of luck at RD as well, and keep doing what you're doing. It was a brilliant chat. Thank you very much.
100%. Thank you, Matthew. Talk soon.